right, there we go. Recorder's running. How's everybody doing today? Thanks for being here. For those that don't know, this is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. Ed has agreed once again to have me come on Mondays and talk about the scanner, and I always throw some trading in there, answer questions, do everything I can do to help. So please, if you have questions, don't be bashful. I have a scan here that I absolutely want to talk about, and we're definitely going to get to that, okay? So curious, how many people here do not have the live trading alerts scanner? Anyone? Anyone here that does not? You don't, Mitch? Okay. There's one. Anyone else? Oh, there we go. There's a few people. All right. I'm gonna do a quick little sales pitch on it, okay, guys? So bear with me here. The fact of the matter is, for those that don't know, I'm the sole trader for the Road to Wealth account, and the Road to Wealth account is amazing. I've showed people with small accounts how to turn small accounts, say $5,000, into $70,000 plus in less than 30 months. We recently started a new Road to Wealth account starting with $10,000, and we have more than doubled it, and it was started in mid-August. So I feel I have a track record, and I feel like I can talk about this. There are a couple of tools that I think is very, very important to trading to accomplish those kind of results. I'm not saying that anyone can accomplish those kind of results. I'm not saying that at all. And I'm not saying that this year that those results won't continue. It could absolutely die off. I mean, anything can happen in trading. But I do believe there are certain tools that a person must have. And one of them, I think, is live trading alerts, okay? So you want to take your trading to another level. I get a lot of people that email me and sign up for my my Road to Wealth classes. And their main reasoning is they want to do what the Road to Wealth has done. And they can. No guarantees, but you can. You have to have the correct tools, though. Without the correct tools, it's not going to happen. If you're going to go out there with a well, anybody that's into drag racing or anything like that, if you're going to go out there with a little 4-banger motor and you're going to put it up against a big block, man, I'll tell you what, you're wasting your entry fee. So you have to have the right tools to do the right job. Okay, enough of that. There's my sales pitch. I do believe, let's see, Mike, on 15-day trial. Okay, yeah. And there's a trial. I think it's 14 days. Mike just mistyped there. It's 14-day trial. If anyone has a link to the 14-day trial, please throw it out there. I know there's somebody has a link out there. Michael is asking, does it use options? Michael, it has nothing to do with options, okay? It has nothing to do with options. What the scanner does is it alerts if stocks are moving or not, for me, within a chart pattern. A lot of other people might use the alerts to say, hey, this stock is oversold, making a bullish engulf maybe, or overbought, making a bearish engulf maybe. It's up to you to decide whether you want to use it for options or just a stock, okay? It's got nothing to do with options or stock. It's just an alert, just an alert. I say just, but boy, I'll tell you what. What? Here, let me get rid of something there. There we go. So, one of my favorite charts patterns, excuse me, one of my favorite chart patterns, and I got to tell you, for 2021, I'm betting that just about every single trade I make will be based on this chart pattern. And I'm talking about the entry pattern, not the overall chart pattern. let's take Twitter as an example. I'll guarantee I'm going to be doing this year. This is going to be my main entry pattern, and that's the trap play. Okay, but I think another place that I want to look is not only is it making a trap on the daily, which I really don't. I went off the wrong alert, but this is going to work out. I also want it to be making a trap on the weekly chart as well. So let's think about this. How would you like to be alerted on stocks making a weekly? I guess I should put this up here. And again, I may be looking at, yeah, that's a weekly though. So how would you like to be looking for charts that make a weekly trap, for you trap players, okay? A weekly trap and a daily trap and a candle pattern that's in the Morningstar family. I mean, does that tickle your fancy? Now, for those that could care less about the trap entry or anything what I just said, please just listen to what I said it could do, okay? Here, I'm going to make this stay on top real quick, okay? There we go. So please just listen to what I said it can do. I can run a scan that looks for a Morningstar type. It's a Morningstar family. We've yet to figure out a name for it. But it's not always a perfect Morningstar. We're not looking for a perfect Morningstar. We're looking for the idea behind the Morningstar in a 3/8 trap on the daily, and how about a 3/8 trap on the weekly? Does that, I mean, just think about the possibilities. If we can do that, just think of all the other possibilities you could use with it. Whether it's, I mean, hundreds of indicators. If you're an indicator user, you can add to this. I could add to this, if I had to add one indicator, if I had to add one, it would be MACD trending. I like MACD. I think that is probably one of the better indicators if you're going to use it. Now, the way I use it is just simply stacked and moving uphill. That's all. Nothing other than that. But just imagine, maybe you want it in a somewhere in a Bollinger Band, or maybe you want to be somewhere in the cloud for the cloud users. Things like that. It's just totally amazing. So anyway, let me go back to what I'm going to do here. And what I really want to show everybody, especially for those that are interested in downloading, or that have the scanner, I should say, you want to set your scanner up using this. So let's look at one stock, couple of stocks, and then we're going to go right into setting it up. EVGN, look at that weekly trap, and look at the daily setup. There's that chart pattern, 1, 2, 3, right there. Boom, boom, boom. Let's look at V-Ray. Here's the daily. Now, V-Ray's gone too far, but earlier this morning, it would have been a possible trade if you don't mind a gap. Here we are, boom, 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 just like that. And here is the weekly inside the trap earlier today. So anyway, let's see, I'm going to move this over here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to move this back. There we go. And so right now I'm just calling it a Morningstar because it's all based off the Morningstar pattern. But for those that know me, you know that I don't live by any kind of pattern that's in a book, and that's because there's no way for somebody writing a candlestick book to put in all the little nuances and the little crooks and corners and edges. When somebody writes a candlestick book, they've got to be pretty precise on the pattern, because there's no way to put like I say, the little nuances in there. I mean, the book would be so thick, it just, you'd never finish it, to be honest. So everyone knows, I think, a Morningstar signal looks something like this right here. And all this is based on that Morningstar signal. This is my favorite chart pattern entry, or well, just my favorite candlestick pattern of all, right here, the Morningstar signal. Now, honestly, I don't care if that candle looks like that right there. I really don't. I don't care if, let's see here. How am I going to do this? I can't go backwards. Well, there we go. I don't care if this first candle is little like that. There we go. Let's just do it that way. To me, this is in the Morningstar family. I'm basically looking for something that down, down, and then up. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Little dance step there. Then what I really like is when this candle moves over the first candle right here. Let's see, Alice. Why is the name called Morningstar Family? Well, I just pointed out what a true Morningstar is, and this is in the family. You know, for instance, if I look at here, let's look at this on the daily. Boom. Let's bring this up. Let's go to V-Ray. Whoops, wrong one. I need to make this stay on top. There we go. Let's go look at EVGN. This is not a book perfect Morningstar, Alice. So what I tend to do is just call this, it's in the Morningstar family. It's in the family. Kind of like a cousin. It's close to it, but it's not book perfect. So I have a hard time actually calling it a Morningstar just by itself because it's really not. But it's the same type of chart pattern. We have this with this negative day, and then we have a low, and this body closed below this candle's body high. For me, that's close enough. And then we have positive trading right here, okay? Now, what I would suggest, Alice, is just in case you don't know what a Morningstar is, I would suggest that since today's a crappy day to be trading, I would suggest this afternoon you Google Morningstars and learn everything you can about a Morningstar signal. We have an ebook on the website. You're more than welcome to download. Talks a little bit about a Morningstar signals among other chart patterns, okay? Actually, BB, we've had a couple of names, and right now somebody suggested 3 Amigos last week, and unless somebody can come up with a better name for me, I might have to use that one. But and BB, how about call it Family Star Derivative? That's too much wording for me. You have to imagine saying that about 1,000 times a day, and that's just too much wording for me. So we've got to come up with something simpler, okay? But thank you. All right. So that's what this alert, I'm going to open it up in just a second here. What this alert is set up to do is to give us that Morningstar signal family in the trap. Rick's Moneymaker. Now that might stay there, Bob. I like that. Money Star. Oh, I'm writing that one down. Money Star. Way to go, Nigel. I like that one. So what this is looking for is that Money Star in a 3/8 trap, or just coming out of the 3/8 trap, and the weekly inside a 3/8 trap. Now, you don't have to put the weekly on here. I just did that just for fun, and I really like what it's doing. So let's just dive into this, all right? So here's the properties of it right here. And if anyone would like to get your pencil and paper out, for those that have the scanner, you can follow along, or you can take a snapshot of this, or the recording will be out here shortly as well. This is not going to be a long webinar today, so this is going to be going to be pretty easy, pretty short. So user-defined Morningstar. That's what this is. We want to go find that. And the parameters, and I got to tell you, play around with the parameters. I'm not sure that I have found a super happy spot for the parameters yet. Right now I'm using 0.20 and 0.75. And what this represents is the minimum percent of the first and third candle has to be body. So for the, you know what, let's change this back to daily. There we go. Now let's look at this. So the first and third candle, candle number 1, candle number 2, all right? I'm looking for the candle, the body just has to be 20% of the overall, the body has to be 20% of the overall candle for the first and the third. For minimum, the second candle or the star, it can be up to 75%. So you can, if you were to drive this down smaller, you could get something more that looks like an actual doji. That's what a Morningstar is. Morningstar Signals, you have a candle, you basically have a doji here underneath this candle, and then you have a bullish candle moving up. I really don't care if this is doji or not. I don't care about the body size. I've set this one that it can be 75% of the overall candle. All right, so, and I strongly urge, for those that have the scanner and you understand what I'm talking about here, I strongly urge you to play with this a little bit. I'm still playing around with it. I've got one scan here set to this, and then I have another scan set to where this is 15% and where this is 90%. Now what I'm doing is, let's skip down to the bottom here. These last, let's skip down to the bottom here. And I just realized I actually have 2 scans I want to show you. So the bottom is user-defined this candle. Oh, dang it. I don't know why this, maybe I didn't save it. That's probably it. Exponential high. And I have this checked as OR. And then user-defined trap prior candle. You know what? I was in here earlier and I must not have saved it. I want to set that to high right there. And we better rescan. Darn it. Wish I hadn't done that, guys. Sorry. Let's see. We're going to rescan this one just to be sure. There you go. So 12 symbols. Now, what I'm using is this RTW. This stands for Road to Wealth. Road to Wealth Fast Trend. I want the 3 high, exponential high, greater than the 8 or the T line, and the T line or the 8 greater than the 17 exponential. It's all preset there. You just have to bring that up and it's all done for you. The Road to Wealth RTW slow trend is the 34 greater than the 50. That's it, okay? Now, I talked about the weekly trap. I'm going to actually go show you another scan, okay? I forgot I didn't put it on this one. So we come up with 12 possibilities on this. I'm going to click OK, and that's going to go blank for a little bit. I'm going to bring this alert up, and we can, here, let me make this stay on top. There we go. And let's go look at FLGT. Here's FLGT. We were in the trap yesterday. We were in the trap this morning. And let's look at the weekly. We're in the trap on the weekly. All right. Let's look at IDEX. I'm just showing these to prove that we're there. Here's IDEX. Here's the weekly. There's the weekly. We're inside the trap. And here's the daily. We were in the trap when it was alerting up here. I'm going to bring them up again here, Elizabeth. Could not follow. Screen froze. Can't hear. Okay. So I'm going to bring this parameters up, and this one has the weekly in there as well. So the Morningstar for this one, and see, I have this set differently. I'm still playing around with some happy numbers here. I urge everyone to play with that and come up with different numbers that you like. So there's the Morningstar. Now let's skip down a little bit, and we're going to go user defined trap this candle, and again, oh, that one's set right. High 3. This is the basic trap that I use. Everybody should know this. Exponential, it's the high, it's the 3, and then exponential close 8. Notice I have this checked or prior candle. So what this will do is, if it was the prior candle was a trap and it just starts breaking out, this one will cover that, is what it does. And I've got the exponential high 3, exponential close 8. And I have that checked to or. That means either one of those alerts will work, okay? Either one. Now let's go down to this one. I want prior candle on the weekly. And yep, that one's set good. Exponential high 3, exponential close 8. That's the way that should be set up. All right. Now, let's come back up to here, and this one I just have the simple trend, fast trend. And again, that's just the road to wealth fast trend, the 3 high, greater than the 8, and greater than the 17. Now, there's only 3 symbols showing. You only need one to make money, okay? You only need one to make money. I have this on a very limited list right now. I'm going to click cancel so we don't clear this out. I see EVFM came up on both. Both means nothing really. Both means nothing really. VEM, that's not it. EVFM, there we go. Here's Morningstar. See, we're in that Morningstar family right there. We're in the trap. And here's the weekly. We're in the trap. That, to me, is a gorgeous chart. Just primed to make us some money right there. Guys, for those that can hear my voice, let me give you some really, really sound advice here, okay? Typing no sound, that's good. You should do that because it could be on our end. But what you should do very first is go to the top right of the screen, and you will see 2 arrows chasing each other. Refresh and reload the room. Refresh and reload the room. Okay? So let's go back into this alert and click on properties. There we go. Whoops. There we are. So here I have the user-defined trap for the Morningstar, and you can see I'm using the first one 15, the second one 0.90. Simply says that the minimum body of the first and third candle is 15%, and the maximum of the star can be up to 90%. I'm using, as far as a trend goes, I'm simply using the 3 greater than the 8 and the 8 greater than the 3. If you go search for RTW, it comes up automatically like that. User-defined trap this candle. Notice it's got the check mark with or, because I'm going to say or this one or this one. Either one of these will now, it will alert on either one of these as long as the other conditions are met. And this one is just, click on it. There we go. This one is the exponential high of the 3 EMA, exponential close of the 8 exponential moving average. This one here, come on computer, there we go, is the exponential high of the 3, and again exponential close of the 8. And this is this candle, this one is prior candle. So that's kind of a neat little thing. If you didn't know you could do that, that's set up that way. I've gotten to where a lot of my trap scans are set this way, so it covers the gambit. Now this one down here, it looks like it's the same as this one here. The difference is it's set to weekly, but it is also set to the same numbers in here. Exponential high, 3 high, exponential close of the 8. And it's the most important thing is it's set to the weekly. Now, look, you don't have to do that, okay? You really don't. I just thought it was kind of cool, and so you're getting a weekly chart that is also trapped, hasn't just gone straight up. But then again, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as the weekly's in a trend, I'll trade the daily all day long in a trap. So this is not, I guess if you have the enough room, maybe one scan with this on and one scan without it on. Check it for a week, see which one you actually like best, okay? And then, well, that's it. So I'm going to cancel this, cancel that. And you can see that EVFM came up, and this is a weekly chart. Look at that weekly trap, all I'm looking for. Now let's look at the daily, and there's that daily trap with the Morningstar signal right there. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, any questions on this? Any questions at all? Well, John, I think he can, and he might. Maybe we'll talk about it, but he can do that. Yeah. Mitch, Mitch, that is a question for the chart in your trading, not a question for the scanner. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I'm going to definitely answer your question. That's a good question, but I want to make sure that you understand that you can solve that problem if you want to change it in the scanner. All right. Okay, so the question is, does it bother me that it's under the Trendicator? No, it doesn't on the weekly. I'm looking at the chart pattern here. That's what I'm looking for. All I care is that we have a trap on the weekly. Now, there would be nothing wrong with saying, well, I want the weekly to be trending as well. And if you want that, you can set that up in the scanner. I choose for that not to matter. So for this chart, no, it does not bother me. I'm trading the weekly. I trade the daily chart, and the daily chart is looking very good to me. I'm not boasting that this is a chart to trade, by the way. I'm only talking about the scanner today. We're not looking at any charts to trade. In fact, I'll say this, anybody that is trading today, well, you've got more guts than I have. And you must have more money than I have. Not that I have a lot, I don't. But I think today's a crazy day to be trading. That's why I'm in all cash except one position. One position. Okay. Any other questions there? That help, Mitch? Will this be one of the previous? I'm not sure. Okay, cool, Mitch. So I just saw MEG came up, MEG. So now remember, this one doesn't take the weekly in account. This one does not take the weekly in account. So let's go look at this. Here's Meg. There's our Morningstar pattern, almost in the family kind of thing, where we cleared that trap. We're moving off the top trap line here. That's a nice chart. So this is the kind of stuff. This is how I trade. It really is. This is how I'm able to double, triple, or even quadruple my account every year. It is by having this scanner look for charts that I am 100% sold on, the patterns anyway, and then the scanner tells me when those patterns are ready, and then I can go look at it and make that final decision. Let's see, do you think it's going to be volatile for the next few days and better stay? JMA, here's what I said in the trading room this morning. Excuse me, is in the long term, I don't think the market cares about the Georgia election. In the long term, I think we're going to remain bullish and everything is going to be just fine. In the short term, yeah, I think there's going to be a little choppiness rolling around. And that is why I'm in cash but one position. So, yeah. David, you use TOS. Would you be able to participate in this program? Absolutely, David. David, it doesn't matter. And for anyone, it does not matter. Man, I've got a tickle in my throat. Excuse me. It does not matter if you use Thinkorswim, TC2000, IBD, TradeStation, any one of those, okay? Does not matter. The live trading alerts is a standalone program. Excuse me, darn it. One advantage that you would have using Thinkorswim is the same advantage I have using TC2000. Watch this. Say I want to look at this EVFM. I can double click it, and it's tied to TC2000. It's also tied to Thinkorswim, and it's tied to a couple others. Maybe Ed could post them in there. I don't remember what they are, but I do know that you can do that with both Thinkorswim and TC2000. Outside of that, it does not matter. If you have brand X, I mean, way out there somewhere, it will still work just fine. You may not be able to click on the ticker symbol and have it come up. You have to type it in. Well, that's what you've been doing all your life trading anyway, so there's no harm, no foul. You might have to type it in like that. There you go. Thinkorswim, TOS, TradeView, barchart.com, and stockcharts.com. You can just simply click on the ticker symbol in the scanner, and then it rocks. And others to come, according to Ed. Thank you. Any other questions? Hard coding. Yeah, guys, look. This is not hard to do. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick snapshot of this, just so I can follow my own lead here. All right. Let me show you something, okay? Let me move this up here. So, say I want to create one of these. I'm going to go down to the main application, and I'm just going to start typing in here. We're going to come down here to the plus sign, and I want let's see, user-defined Morningstar. So remember to always use keywords. Keyword might be Morningstar. So I'm just going to type in morning, and there's all the Morningstar alerts. We're going to go to user define. We're going to set the parameters up. It comes out of the box 0.50 to 0.25. All right. So let's just set this up. And so we want the first and third candle. Maybe we want it, we'll say 15. And then that's the first and third candle. The star, let's set that to 90. I'm just going off one that I have here, all right? Very simple. We come down to the plus sign. We're going to add another alert. What would we like? Well, we talked about the trap, right? So let's type trap in there like this. And I know that I like these two on the bottom. These are my two favorites. So trap this candle. I'm going to click on that. See how it comes up? We're going to go to the parameters. I'm going to change this to high, just like that. I'm going to click the check mark under or in that little box because I know I'm going to put the other one in. You get a little warning sign that says, hey, you have to have two. You can't have or by itself. So I'm going to come over here to go to a plus sign, and we're going to type trap in again. See, this is not hard to do. It really isn't. Now I'm going to go trap prior candle. I'm going to go ahead and put that check mark in there. There we go. Whoops. There we go. The yellow warning came off. I'm going to change that parameters. I'm going to change this to high. It's just what I like to use. Some people use close. I like high. Now let's go set the weekly trap up maybe. So the weekly trap, I want it in this candle right here. Which, come to think about it, you could probably use prior trap. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use prior candle on this one. We're going to change this to weekly right here. Move that to weekly. I know it says rescan, but I'm going to come over here because I know I'm going to change this. So high. Now I'm going to go rescan. So we're going to rescan. Okay. And now let's put, we're going to go to Road to Wealth, RTW. And I'm not going to worry about the fast trend. I'm only going to use the slower trend. So let's put that in there. Let that scan through. And there's two possible symbols there. We're going to name it. I'm going to name it test star like that. And we're going to create window. Just like that. Very simple. Here's what it looks like. Now, I like all mine to look the same. So I'm going to come in here and click Style. Let me bring this over so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take that check mark off. I'm going to change that to 15. I'm going to change this to black. I want alternating colors so it'll look black, gray, black, gray, black, gray like that. And then I'm going to change this to aqua and click OK. And I like mine to look like that. If you want to go see what these tickers are looking like, well, we've already looked at EVGN. We've already looked at that one. Let's look at GSHD. So I can click on that, and here we are. Here's our daily chart. We were in the trap this morning, just breaking out. Here's the weekly the chart, and we're in the trap right there. Yes, this is recorded. Yeah. So it's very easy to do. So, guys, I know you want the easy button. I know you want something that's preset. The problem is I could show you 2,000 alerts that work like a champ. And then what's going to happen is you're going to want that one pre-built. It's never ending. It is not hard to build a scan, and we help you in the rooms. So it doesn't matter what room you're in. You could be in the live trading alerts education room. You can be in the hit run candlesticks trading room. You could be in the right way options trading room. If you say, hey, I need help building this scan, we will build it. We will walk you through it. It's very easy to do. Okay? All righty. Here, we'll close this right there. Oh, now there's 14, so there's some popping up. And this number will change throughout the day. I'm going to go take a peek at, well, you know what? How about I just leave it alone? How about I just leave it alone? And let it perk, and we'll see one. What did I just do there? Oh, stay on top, yeah. All right. Any questions? Any questions about any chart? We have a little time here. So any chart you want to look at, any thoughts about the market you want to discuss, anything about the scanner, of course. I'm going to move this over like that. We're going to move this over here. And we're going to do that. Whoops. There we go. Let's see here. Fuzi, F-U-Z-I. Weekly. There we go, daily. So, JMA, I like the fact that we've had basically flat trading. I like the rounded bottom. I like the fact that the bulls are very interested in here. And I like the fact that it has a pullback. So I really think this is a pretty nice chart, except I think the entry stinks. I think the entry stinks. Okay. And the reason I think the entry stinks, now this is probably more of, you're getting into my personal trading right here, and I don't mind sharing. My personal trading says I can't buy a black candle like that or a red candle. I can't do it. You might be saying, well, we're on a double bottom, and I would say, well, I don't care. I only want to buy when buyers are coming in. This would be a perfect candidate to put on the alerts, like a hot list, and you watch that hot list, and when you start seeing the arrows like this start turning green, moving up, that would be an indication that I might be interested in the chart. Okay. Val says, I think VUZI consolidating, longer term holder. Yeah, if you're a longer term holder, you don't particularly care about today. You're longer term. You're buying on dips probably, things like that. Let's see, Wells Fargo. I was in Wells Fargo and closed it out this morning. Yeah, I closed it out. Let me get rid of all this. Wells Fargo, I think, is consolidating very nicely. I closed it out because I made a pact with myself that I was not going to be in very many charts going into tomorrow's election. And Wells Fargo started moving to the downside, so I just closed it out earlier today rather than later today. I still like the overall chart. I still think it's a great chart, but not for me because I'm, for the most part, a short-term trader. I want charts that I'm in, I want them to move up. I don't want them to start moving down. And this is starting to move down. So it looks like today it's going to, I got out before it hit my stop. And it looks like today, in fact, it may have hit my stop already. So I like the overall chart. I just don't like the chart today, I guess. Let's see, is SLDB considered a Morningstar? That could be. And let's be careful, Seco. Let's not, families. Okay, you did say family. Yeah, that could be considered the family. Yeah. Really, yeah, it could be. It's not quite. Here, let me point this out. Let me make this bigger. This right here, there you go. These three candles, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that would be perfect in the Morningstar family. This right here, I'm going to say no. You know what? It's not. This is just simply consolidation in a trap. So while we're here, I need to go look at the SPY. There's some damage being done today. You know, I'm not the only one getting out of this market right now, because it's the results of this election is fairly important. Again, I don't think it has anything to do with long term, but I do think there's a short term, some short term trouble. Now, this could be all there is, by the way. I mean, nothing says we have to come down further. This could be all there is, this noise in the market, and tomorrow we could be right back up. I do think the market is still bullish in the longer term. It's just the shorter term, and since I'm a short-term trader, and since I have no edge because of tomorrow, then that is why I chose to be in cash. Alrighty. Any other questions? Anything at all? And please remember that, in fact, if you stay here today in this room, Ed will be in this room, and he will help you with setting up the scanner for whatever you need. If you are a Right Way Options member, remember that if you're in the room in Right Way Options, just ask Doug. He will be more than happy to help you. And if you're in the Hit Run Candlesticks room and you are looking for help, I will be more than happy to help you. If either Doug or I are stumped, we have a direct line to Ed, and Ed will come help. Okay, so there's 3 places where you can get help on live trading alerts. Of course, in the Hit Run Candlestick room or the Right Way Options, you have to be a member or a trial. For live trading alerts, just simply stay in this room. This is free. It's open every day, all day long. And Ed is always in here to help you. And all you got to do is beep him, write a little note in there, give him 5 minutes. You know, he might be making a sandwich or eating a sandwich or something, and he'll be there. Okay. Alrighty. I had somebody PM me about VXX this morning. I had mentioned that if we start closing over 1735, be afraid, be very afraid, and look at the Morningstar signal that this has made. And over the first candle's body, that is the buy clue to me, right there. So I think we need to be afraid, be very afraid. I was PM'd another question after I mentioned this in the trading room, and I was going to cash. I was PM'd private message, why don't I short? I don't want to short because, first of all, I think we need to be very afraid, but there's nothing overly bullish about this chart right now. And I feel I have no edge. Take a look at the SPY. We have a bearish engulf, but we have no follow through. I don't know where, it seems like, I don't know where a lot of traders are getting this, but it seems like over the last half a year, maybe a year or so, traders are jumping on the very first candle. And I want to caution you on doing that. I will short this market when we see follow through, not on a little blip of 1 day candle. And it's the same thing going bullish as well. Remember, our job is not to pick a top. Our job is to trade the middle of the chart. At least that's what I think anyway. Strangely enough, all the traders that are trying to short now, and I don't mean now like, maybe this actually turns out to be a great short potential. Maybe for the next 6 weeks, this market just runs south, okay? So this might work out. But what I've seen is traders start, they're concentrated on each and every single candle, and they're not concentrating on the chart pattern, what the overall chart is telling us. And these people are here today and gone tomorrow, when all they do is just trade that single one candle. So be cautious. Be cautious. Let's see. For the one we just created, I used the slow. I just used the slow. And I just wanted to see, what it would bring up. So far, and nothing is going to come up until we have a new high in one of those charts. But I just used the slow right here. Let's see, Kingpin, whoops. Mitch, can you explain the difference again between your two Morningstar scans? Sure. One is looking for the prior candle, and one is looking at the current. Whoops. You know what I just saw here? Oh no, right here. One is looking at this candle today, and one is looking at the prior candle. So let's take a look at Twitter for a second. So this is the current candle, and this would be the prior candle. Current, prior. And the reason I do that is because if a chart starts doing this, it might not come up on the current candle. Well, especially if it does this. Say it opens up, say right at that line or above it, and moves up a little bit. It might not show up on the scan that says this candle, but it will show up on the previous candle. And I have no problem buying stocks like this. I have no problem at all. So if it did that, I mean, that would be my about my stop here. We're not going to get into stops today, but something like that, and I don't mind buying it. That's why I want to look for those. Kingpin, talk to me about your thought process when it comes to option stop loss. Do you use premium price of the stock price, or do you set an order or watch? Having trouble buying options, setting stop losses and getting taken out for price to turn on my direction. So here's what I do. Okay, let's take Twitter for instance. All right. So say I buy Twitter, I would trade that as a directional option. A long call is what I would buy. So when I buy it, what I do is I will come in here and set my stop. Now, I don't do every one that I buy like this because I've done this so much I can just see it. I don't need to. But for the purposes of right now, I'm going to do it. So my stop would be $53.85 on the stock chart. Okay, I buy the option, but that's my stop. Now, how you get your platform to understand that's up to you and your platform. I can't particularly help you with that because there's so many platforms out there. There's no way for us to know, and some don't even do it. I set mine based on my chart. I trade everything from the chart. I trade nothing from the options. The options for me is just a way to leverage my money. So there's my stop and maybe a target somewhere up here. That's exactly how I do that, Kingpin. How's PayPal? Thanks for asking. Good question. That's a question a lot of people have trouble with. A lot of people have trouble with that issue there. And yeah. So Saint, how's PayPal looking? Like crap, if you want to know my opinion of it. Are you looking at this long or short? I'm going to bet to the long side. And the only thing I can do with it is put it on a watch list. I can't possibly trade this right now because one of my major rules is never buy a chart that looks like that. Now, with that said, here's what a lot of people do. Maybe you, maybe not, I don't know, but a lot of people. And I have to sneeze, so. People look at this. We've got a nice little trend here. We have a pullback. We have consolidation. We have an ugly candle, but look, we have support. No, you don't have support, by the way. No, you don't. So you only have support if the bulls take it back and move up, then you can say, look, you had support. But without the bulls, you don't have support yet. So this is why I never buy like this. So as far as an entry, I think PayPal is a horrible idea, personally. How do you feel about that? One area that I see the bulls stepping up, by the way, is gold here. So here, let's do this. I might buy this actually. So what I'm going to do, whoops. Sorry, there was some chat here I didn't see. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't see some chat here. Let's see, Saint, PayPal for a 3-month duration. Saint, I don't understand how people trade, and I may be reading not what you meant to type, or I may be reading something different than what you typed in there. So when you wrote PayPal for I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. When you wrote PayPal for a 3-month duration, I honestly don't understand how people trade like that. I really don't. So say you buy this and you're going to hold it for 3 months. All right, just tell me how that works out for you in 3 months, okay? And I honestly do not understand that logic. Now, when I buy an option, I'm going to buy 50 days plus. So that may fit right into that, what you're thinking, okay? If I buy this, I'm still going to put my stop in here. I don't care if it hits my stop day after tomorrow, or I don't care if it hits my stop in 32 days. I'm still going to trade this chart. It doesn't matter that I have a 60-day option on it, 3 months, or 90-day option, 3 months down the road, okay? So I'm not going to buy a stock, and just because I have a option on it, I'm not going to hold it because of that. Because like I said, in 90 days, just tell me how this is working out for you. And anyway, I think it's a horrible trade at the moment, but that is based on my trading, just mine. I cannot base it on yours or Kingpin's or Monica's, okay? Just mine. Let's see. Thank you very much. I understand as you explained so simply that I could get it. Thank you, Kingpin. Appreciate it. Here, I want to go look at what were we looking at? KL, right? KL. There we go. So KL is coming up on one of my scanner alerts. So this is exactly what I would do. I'm going to go 50 days plus, which 46, okay, we're close, right? I'm going to go look at it anyway. I don't see enough open interest. Let's look at April. I could do April. I could do the April 69 Delta, $40 strike. Just for fun, I'm going to go look at July's. I could also do the 67 Delta. I could do that. I think April's going to win, though. Good open interest, 69 Delta. So let's do this. I'm going to click on that. There's 9.5% between the bid and the ask spread. So I'm going to pass on this trade right now just because that's a little bit more than I want to get out there. I kind of want to be in cash anyway, so I think I'll be patient. So with that, let's think about this trade. I like the idea of KNL. So I'm going to put a line right here, and I'm going to paint that line red. Red is for anything below there would make me not like it at all. And I'm going to put it about right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my buy box in there, and I'm actually going to lower that down. because I want the price to come to me. I'm going to flag this and keep it for later today. Maybe a trade tomorrow or the next day or the next day. So if price comes back to me, then I'm going to look to buy that. That's pretty nice. Let's see. AMD. AMD was talked about earlier this morning. Man, perfect. So there were people in the trading room that were a little excited about AMD, and I loved the way the chart was setting up. I absolutely loved it. At one point today, it looked like that. What I had said was, I think I'll be patient and wait on AMD. I will wait for it to break out of that 94.90 area, and I will wait for it to prove it can hold, and I will wait for buyers to step in. Then I think I could get pretty excited about AMD. And the reason I said that, and it doesn't matter to me how good that candle was, what I want to look at is not that candle. I want to look at the overall picture. And if you look at the overall picture, you should be able to see the clear resistance right here. Clear resistance. We come up here and we put a little top hat right here, and now we have a head and shoulders. It's not that I'm afraid of a head and shoulders. I am afraid of resistance. And I want to see price break through where it couldn't, where it did, and where it failed. So it would have to be up into this area here. So anyway, I'm not sure if that's what you wanted to know about AMD, but that's what we did there. Gold, GOLD. Gold is one I would put on the watch list. I'm not going to chase it. Gold is up there with that 50-period moving average now. I think at the very minimum for me, probably something like that. I'm going to put the buy box for now in there like that. But if it moves up past that 50 period and then it starts settling down, then I'm just going to move that up and make that my trade. Remember, a trade is not, well, I'm only talking for me, okay? I can't talk for Monica or Saint or Jason. I can only talk for my trading, okay? And something I've discovered is, say we're talking about gold, we're talking about KNL, talking about Twitter, anything you want to talk about. That doesn't mean that we can't look at it tomorrow. That doesn't mean we can't look at it again a week from now. So I find this, and I used to be in this category. Gold maybe. Man, gold's hot. Gold's a buy. So I buy gold, and then what happens is it comes back, it hits my stop, I get knocked out of it. And then what happens, it settles down here, and then it starts moving up. And I did this for the longest time. And what would happen is I would chase it again. And you know what? The same thing would happen. And you know why that is? That's what charts do. 1,000% of every chart in the stock market does this. Every single one. So you have to understand this, and then when you do, you start understanding timing. And then you'll start understanding, well, I don't want to chase that. I want it to come back to me down here. Okay? So timing. Whoever said you can't time the market, bring them on over. I'll show them how to do it. Just bring them on over. So anyway, if you don't buy this here, you're not missing anything. Does anyone, and please you don't have to answer, it'll clog up the chat. But does anyone think KNL can get to $31? Let's just, everybody say yes, okay? Don't type it though. So what if you didn't buy, get out of there. Let me figure out how to delete that. So you don't buy KNL here, and it moves up, and now it's all, well, I've missed the trade. I've totally missed the trade. No, you didn't. it doesn't change the fact that you think it's going up to 31. It might go up to check these highs out, right? What do charts do? And in fact, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to go look for yourself. Take a day off, stop trading, and go prove this to yourself. Charts move up and they move back, and they move up and they move back, and they will do this all the way to wherever they don't go anymore. That means that you didn't miss this trade. This is an opportunity. This could be an opportunity. Over here could be an opportunity. Over here could be an opportunity. Okay? Anyway, I hope it's helpful. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Elizabeth, just wondering why I'm not getting the same stocks with the new alert being in the same universe. Yeah. I mean, without diving into it, you could have something set a little different. And then, too, there's no guarantee we have the same universe. I think if you hang out here after this, because I'm about to shut down, and then Ed can be here to help. If you're in hit and run candlestick room, right? And I'll be glad to help you there, because I'm going to talk about this alert later today, and help everyone get set up with it. Okay. KNL, how do I determine my buy box on KL? Well, I'm not going to get into this really, really deep, Scotty. I'm about ready to leave. But for me, get out of there. There we go. Let's just get that out of the way for a second. There we are. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my possible stop. Now, I don't think that's a buy, so it's kind of hard to set an absolute buy box. So here's what I'll do. Let's say today, let's say this is the end of the day right now. Okay, right this second, market's closing, right? So I'm going to look at this chart for a trade tomorrow, or maybe within the next 15 days, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stop in there, and I would put my stop approximately 42. It's kind of hard to be exact because we're not at the end of the day, but that's going to be pretty darn close. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to wrap that candle with the buy box. That's all. There's no big trick here, no big secret. I want to buy inside days. I want to buy on a bullish move and a rest. It's that simple, not hard. And that's exactly how I would do it. Finally, one came up. Let's go take a look at RCI. There we go. Look at that chart. Look, the chart itself you might not like to trade. Maybe you don't like something about the chart. But remember what we've asked this scan to do for us. We've asked it to give us a Morningstar in the family candle pattern, right? Clearly, that's what it has done. We've asked for a daily trap. Clearly, that's what it has done. We've asked for a weekly trap. Clearly, that's what it has done. Ladies and gentlemen, if Ed was to take my scanner away, I would have to get drunk for a whole lot of days in a row. I would suck my thumb and cry in a corner for the longest time. Okay? That I love this. I love it. Okay, Siku, TPR. Siku, you're just dying for a trade, aren't you? I think that's a bullish chart. I think that's a bullish chart. We've got, let's get rid of this. We're up, so we go from this low to a high to a higher low. We're working for a higher high. I think that's a very bullish chart. I'm going to right now put my stop right in here, and from there, that looks like a pretty good trade. We're going to take a look at the weekly chart. Where might it be going? And let's just take some highs in there. Let's just start with that one right there. There you go. So far, I think that's a terrific looking chart. And thank you. I think I'm going to flag that one. That might be on the trade list tomorrow. In the middle, Thomas, that's what I kind of do. Now, always is a strong word, okay? Always is a strong word. So let's take a look at this RCI. So I don't mind buying. If I was, let's do this. Yesterday's candle, I would not even consider this a trade. Yesterday's candle, there's no consideration here whatsoever. Today's candle, all of a sudden it becomes a consideration. So the first thing I do is I put my stop on them. By the way, in the trading room, we go through this, and I teach everyone exactly where, why, how, what I do. Doesn't mean it's right. Just I will, go through this. And you're in the room, I think. So right now, my stop would be 46.65. Let's put the buy box in this. I'm going to wrap that candle there. So this is for a trade tomorrow. Let's say the candle has closed right now. Market's closed. Boom. So now this is a trade for tomorrow. I'm going to look for a buy inside this buy box. But will I not buy it if it breaks out like that? Of course I will. I will absolutely consider a buy up here. But if I buy up there on the breakout, I will have to raise that stop to accommodate that entry. This stop is to accommodate an entry in this area. All right. Now, and please, it doesn't mean that this is the right way to do it. This is just the way I do it, okay? I've just developed a way to trade that works out for me. Works out for me. You're more than welcome to do it. Buy the last one from the end. Okay, Ed, let's see, Mitch. Don't do it, Ed. What's Ed doing? Stop him. Don't let him do it. I wouldn't do it, T-Man. All right, thank you, Thomas. All right, guys and gals, I need to get out of here. Ed is telling me to leave, so I'm going to leave. Not really, he's not. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very, very much for coming. I think this is going to become one of my favorite scans. And really all it is a tweak on the trap looking for that Morningstar type pattern. I've said for years that Morningstar is my favorite chart pattern. The problem, a true Morningstar signal, it's rare to get in the trap. So what'll happen is there's so many that you just don't get. Now we're able to adjust it. We're looking at the trap family. I'm okay with that. I love it. And Ed was able to create the alert. Thank you, Ed. So this is definitely going to become one of my favorites. So everyone take care. Thanks again, Ed. Appreciate it. We'll see everybody in the trading rooms, hopefully. And have a great new year. Thank you.